Hello, everyone. I'm just going to give it a couple of minutes before we start. Okay, I think we're good to start. Today we're going to be talking about exhibition, grade 5 exhibition. This is a very important moment for grade 5 students, and this year it has taken different characteristics and we had to adapt. So I'm going to try and guide you through a simple introduction to what is exhibition and why is it so important and sometimes scary for students. They tend to shake a little bit when they hear the word exhibition, which is obviously not necessary. And then I will just explain briefly how we have decided to adapt and how we are going to change a few aspects of it in order to be able to still do exhibition while having distant learning. Okay, so I'm going to share with you a presentation. So in a PYP school, students are often presented with many opportunities to demonstrate how they develop and apply not only knowledge, but also conceptual understanding, learning skills, and the learner profile attributes. This happens through the inquiries they undertake, and the PYP exhibition is probably one of the most notable examples of this. In fact, all IB programs culminate on a specific learning experience in their final year. The exhibition in the PYP, the personal project in the exhibition, in the MYP and middle years program, and the extended essay in the diploma program, which makes the PYP exhibition not only an extremely important milestone in the student's academic course, but also an experience that will help them better prepare for senior school. And we all know that in grade 5, that's something we tell them a lot. You know, soon we'll be in senior school, you need to be ready, and the exhibition is definitely meant to prepare them for senior school. The exhibition is a powerful demonstration of students' agency, as well as the agency of the community that involves the student. The whole learning community is expected to participate in the exhibition, supporting and celebrating the development of internationally minded students who make a positive difference in their lives and in the lives of others, of course. The circumstances that we are living today required us to adapt, and we were faced with the need to find an alternative to what the PYP exhibition traditionally looks like. For those of you who have never seen an exhibition, here are some examples of what a PYP exhibition would look like. Students normally invite the family to their school, the family, the colleagues, and on that day, it's a big celebration. Everyone comes and they present live to the people who are visiting, the visitors. They normally dress up very fancy, and it's a big deal for them. And this circumstance has taken that away from them, this possibility. So we will have to find an alternative. And at the end of this presentation, we will show you what alternative we have found. So students will not be able to present their work physically or invite their learning community to come to their exhibition. So we have decided to take the exhibition to the learning community instead by doing an online exhibition. So, but first things first, what is the PYP exhibition? Well, it is a culminating collaborative experience in the final year of the PYP. But it is also an authentic process for students to explore, document, and share their understanding of an issue that personally means something to them. All exhibitions are student-initiated. These means students have a role in choosing the issue and developing the central idea and the lines of inquiry, identifying the key and related concepts, then identify the knowledge they will need to acquire and the skills they need to develop. everything starts from the students. They choose what they're going to work on, they choose how they're going to work on, and they choose how they're going to show their work. So obviously it is also student designed. Students design their learning goals and establish the criteria of what success will look like for them. So they're the ones who decide, this is where I want to go. If I get to this part, to this point, it will be successful. They will design their assessment criteria. They work with teachers, obviously, mentors and peers to design the tools they need to evaluate the success of exhibition. This is also a very important aspect. It is a collaborative experience. They're not working individually, they're working with a group, but they're also working with teachers and mentors. Students collaborate with their peers, their teachers and mentors. There is a genuine sense of participation and engagement through regular sharing of progress and feedback. All students take an active role in all aspects of planning, inquiring, investigating, communicating, and assessing their exhibition. So I hope it's becoming a little bit more clear why exhibition is so important. But I would also like to take you through the purposes of exhibition to understand where we want the students to go. Why do we do this with the students? The key purposes of exhibition are in-depth collaborative inquiry. So the purpose is for students to engage in an in-depth collaborative inquiry that will allow them to find the knowledge they want to share with other people. We're not going to tell them, this is what you're going to show, this is what you're going to demonstrate. They are the ones who are going to inquire and find what they want to share with other people. This takes us to the fact that this is an opportunity to provide students with the opportunity to demonstrate agency and responsibly be responsible for their learning. We have spent their PYP years trying to teach them to be responsible for their learning and to make them independent learners. So now it's a time for them to show that they have acquired that. The learner profile, we are also hoping to provide students with an opportunity to demonstrate the attributes of the learner profile in authentic contexts. Provide an authentic process for students to monitor, document, and present their learning. It's making it real. That's, I think, one of the key aspects. Now it actually becomes a real thing. They are doing it in real life situations, approaching real life issues, and hopefully that will take them to wanting to take action. So the result of the learning is that they will want to do something. They will want to use their learning, use their understanding and the knowledge to have an impact on someone's lives. It can be their closer community, their own family. It can be a more global goal where they want to have an impact on people around the world, people's lives. But the purpose that they get to that point in, okay, now what? Now I'm going to do something with what I've learned. We also want to provide students with an authentic context for them to reflect on their PYP education. We use the reflection word very often in classroom. Students tend to not like it. They don't like doing reflections, but it is very important for them to be able to reflect on what they've learned. And as I tell them a lot of times, no one learns from doing it all right. By reflecting on their mistakes, reflecting on what they've done and how they can improve what they've done, they will be able to move forward and achieve even higher success for sure. Also, as we've mentioned before, The exhibition intends to support the well-being of students by celebrating their transition to the next stages of their education. Exhibition happens at the end of grade 5, which is also the end of the PYP, the end of primary school. It's a big moment for students, and they will end with a feeling of accomplishment, of success, which will be very valuable for them when they move into senior school. And as I tell them very often, they go back to being at the bottom of the ladder. So they have to start climbing again. And this sense of success, this sense of achievement will help them with that start. It also provides an authentic task for the community to evaluate the implementation of the PYP. This is very important for all schools, but especially for our school, when we are implementing the PYP for the first time this year. The exhibition will be a valuable tool for us to assess this implementation. And last but not least, it will provide students with an opportunity to engage with a broader learning community and celebrate their achievements. We've mentioned the learner profile before, and I would like to just go over a little bit more detail, because we focus the learning in the IB, in the PYP especially, we focus it around the learner profile. And the students, it is one of the key aspects of the PYP exhibition, and it's that the students have the opportunity to demonstrate how they have developed the learner profile attributes. This happens because students have a range of opportunities to develop, demonstrate, and reinforce the attributes of the learner profile in the daily life of the learning curriculum. It is part of the school curriculum through the transdisciplinary units of inquiry and through subject-specific investigation. It is also present in the interactions in a variety of learning spaces. It is present when they go to the library, when in school, when they have a music lesson, through social interactions at break times, sports, after-school activities, field trips, all other school-related events. As, for example, we have our weekly assemblies, the drama productions, which I've heard will still happen, the planned production for music in a obviously different way, but it will still happen this year. The sports days that happen at school, all these events are opportunities for students to develop their learner profile attitudes. And finally, but definitely not least, students have the opportunity to develop at home, in the wider community. We don't want students to think that the learner profile, oh, this is something that I do at school and that's it. No, we want it to be part of the student. It becomes part of who they are, and they will then demonstrate them through the interactions with their family, their friends, the local business, sports clubs, or any other interest groups that they are part of. They will demonstrate these attributes, and they will it will be part of them. It will be part of who they are. The second key aspect of exhibition is the fact that they are able to demonstrate how they have learned through a concept-based inquiry. Students demonstrate their understanding of the key concepts. Concept-based inquiry is actually a powerful vehicle for learning, and it promotes meaning and understanding, and it also challenges students to engage with significant ideas. It's hard for adults sometimes to grasp the idea of concepts, what are concepts, and to learn through concepts. So we often forget that it's also hard for students. Concepts are powerful in broad ideas, abstract ideas. Not always, it's not always easy to grasp something that's abstract, but they help us organize all other ideas, and they may be transdisciplinary or subject-specific, subject-based, but they definitely help us to learn something, understand something, and not just memorize a fact or a date or a number. Learning through concepts will allow us to truly understand what we are learning and go take our understanding. It will allow us to build our understanding across, between, and beyond subjects. This is what I think makes concepts so important. They're not just related to math or to language or to music. They are across subjects, and they will. When we learn the concept, we will be able to apply it through all subjects, not only in PYP, in MYP, diploma, university, work. The concepts will be useful, will be important throughout their lives. And that's why we often mention that we want to create life learners and not just primary students or senior students. We want life learners. Key concepts provide a lens for conceptual understanding within a transdisciplinary use of inquiry, and related concepts, on the other hand, will provide the lens for conceptual understanding in subject-specific, in specific subjects. Sorry. So we've gone through the learner profile and learn the concepts. We are now getting to what glues it all together. The ATL skills, the approaches to learning skills. These skills are present since early years, throughout the whole junior school, and they answer the key question, which is how will students be able to demonstrate their understanding? Approaches to learning skills are grounded in the belief that learning how to learn is fundamental to a student's education. It's not just learning, but learning how to learn, learning how to inquiry, how to ask the right question, how to find the right answer by using the research skills, the thinking skills. And we use the 5 categories of interrelated skills to the thinking, research, communication, social, and self-management, and the associated sub-skills to support students of all ages to become self-regulated learners. Through a variety of strategies, teachers collaboratively plan for implicit and explicit opportunities that will develop the ATL skills, the approach to learn skills, both inside and outside the program of inquiry. So these are the 3 key aspects of exhibition. This is what we want students to demonstrate. And hopefully by now you have a better idea of what exhibition is. And I believe the question in your minds may be, how can we do this without actually going to school? So how are we adapting? We're doing an online exhibition. Now, luckily, or unfortunately, but in a way, it also played in our favor. Students have had some weeks of distance learning already, and that has allowed us to test, to experiment, and to find the tools that best will serve our needs and will best work for everyone. Also, for the past units, the summative assessment, the students had to work in groups of 3 as a specific preparation for exhibition. They had to work online, they had to meet online, and they have to present using a PowerPoint and using a online platform to present their work. These, of course, they have encountered some issues. It has given us the opportunity to talk about them, to discuss them, and to learn how we can go around those issues. And hopefully they will not face the same issues for exhibition. They will face naturally other issues, but we will continue to work closely to ensure that they will be able to present all their work. During this 3rd term, we will have dedicated exhibition time. In our UI lessons, we will use them not only for discussing and inquiring as a group, but also for them to give students the time to meet. Those time slots will be dedicated for them to meet within their group. This will hopefully take away the issue of finding a time where everyone is free, everyone's available outside of class time. Obviously, they will have to still meet outside of class time. They will have to work outside of lesson time. But having those slots dedicated for the meeting, for being with them, and having their teachers and their mentors online at that time, they can ask the mentors and the teachers to join. It will hopefully give them the time they need to finish their inquiry and to succeed in their exhibition. Also, Ms. Susanna has already started to teach grade 5 some basic design skills in term 2, and these lessons will continue during the 3rd term so that students will have the necessary tools to develop their own website for exhibition. We will be working with students in order to ensure that exhibition content, what they want to present, is well adapted to the website. Obviously, there won't be the possibility of live presentations. So, for example, we'll have to work with students so that they learn how to record their presentations. They might need to record themselves doing some presentations, and we will help students to adapt all that content to the website so that they can share it with the community. We get to action. It's probably where I think this distance learning is going to have deeper toll on the exhibition. Students traditionally in exhibition, they take action by physically doing some activities that will have an impact on other people's lives. So they will have to, obviously we'll have to give students time to develop their action given the current circumstances, and think on how they can use the digital tools that they have available to them to make an impact, to have an impact on other people's lives. For the exhibition, we have been using Padlet for a few weeks now. Here you can see an example of our PYP coordinator's page. It's a very simple web design website platform, but we believe it has the needed tools for students to present. Also, being simple and having just enough design tools for them to allow them some creativity will hopefully keep them focused on the content and what they want to share with the community, but still giving them the opportunity to share different types of content and different information. Throughout this 3rd term, we will obviously be working with students and giving them time to experiment, practice, and find how to work with this platform. So it's an online platform for sharing content, but most of all, it's an educational platform. So it's safe. It's a safe environment for students. It has a simple layout and design options and tools, and it hopefully will allow students to succeed in presenting their exhibition. Our exhibition specifically will be based on the UN Sustainable Development Goals. Students have already started to inquiry about the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and we will divide. There are 17 goals. I've already asked students to choose which goals they feel are most important, and from there we will be choosing on the 6 goals that will be presented by the grade 5 in their exhibition. There will be 6 groups of 3 elements each. So we will use the same structure that we used for the previous summative assessment, so that students will be able to use the learning experience they had from there. 6 groups of 3. Students will have expressed their preferences and who they would like to work with. Obviously, will be taken in consideration amongst other factors. For example, the goals that they would prefer to work with, and they will each group will have one goal to work with. That means they will have to develop a whole unit based on that goal. Developing a unit means developing central idea, lines of inquiry, key concepts, related concepts, and then using those to guide their inquiry, following the inquiry cycle, different phases of the inquiry cycle, where students will eventually get to the action part and the presentation, where they will be able to share with everyone their unit, the results of their inquiry. Each group has a mentor. Now, this is very important. It's something that will be new to everyone. I will not be a mentor to any specific group because I am mentoring all groups in a way, but teachers from around the school will have already volunteered and are looking forward working with a group. That means each group has a dedicated teacher to work with them, to meet with them online, to have video conferences, to share emails, share information, to keep them on track with the time management, to share ideas or thoughts that they may have. It might seem a very good idea to them, and then when they share with someone else, sometimes even just saying out loud would probably let them know, okay, maybe this is not such a good idea, it won't be possible. But they will have, throughout this third term, they will have one teacher dedicated to them, and it becomes a very important aspect of exhibition. And normally the groups develop a very strong relationship with that teacher, and it is a big part of it. As said before, each group will have to develop the central idea, lines of inquiry, and concept questions. This will be one of the ways students will demonstrate what they've learned in their PYP education. Every unit in PYP has a central idea, lines of inquiry, and the key concepts that then originate concept questions. Students have been immersed in these for as long as they've been a PYP student. So now the ball is on their side, it's their turn. Now they will be writing their central idea and their lines of inquiry and their concept questions and applying all their experience. They will also be using the inquiry cycle, as mentioned before, and last but not least, they will be taking action. Now, this is, as we mentioned, very it's the culminating of exhibition. It's where it takes them. At the end of all this, okay, so now what? Now what do we do? And hopefully our students will find creative and meaningful ways to put their ideas, their knowledge in action, and transform all this into something positive, something that will have a positive impact on other people's lives. So that brings us to the end of our presentation, my presentation. This is the time where I don't know if there's any questions. I think I am able to see, yes, I am able to read questions. So if I am available for any questions, any doubts anyone may have, if you want, you can write on the comments. I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes. Thank you, Mr. Ash. Okay, I don't think there are any specific questions at the moment. I am obviously available by email for any questions, any doubts, especially for the parents of grade 5 students who are doing exhibition right now. There's a question here from Miss Amanda. Yes, each group will have a Padlet, so there will be an individual page, so it will work as each group will have their own website. So they will basically what we will end up with 6 different pages, 6 different websites for the 6 goals that will be worked for exhibition. Normally, if we were in normal circumstances, we would now be inviting parents to come to school to have a formal meeting to explain all this. I hope this has shed some light and some clarification for the parents of the grade 5 students right now. But I would like to say to reinforce that we can always use the platforms, the online platforms, email or video conference. If there's any question, any doubt, I am always available to talk to you and try to adapt to as much as possible to the situation. Okay. The mentors, they're not specific for a topic. The mentors, obviously, when we do have the groups and each group has their own goal, we will talk to the mentors, the teachers who have volunteered, and ask them if they feel more comfortable with a specific topic. Obviously, we will try to adapt to that and make sure that mentor is allocated to a group that's working with that topic. If the mentor feels more comfortable and has more knowledge on that topic, it makes all sense. We don't have a final date for exhibition yet. I'm still discussing with our PYP coordinator. And as soon as we have the date, hopefully by the beginning of next week, we will have a final date for the websites to be launched, so that they can share the exhibition. Hope not at the end of the term. We want to give time for them to have the websites online and reflect on it, get some feedback from the community on their website. Being a website, it's a live exhibition, a lasting exhibition, so they might even be able to adapt and to change or add things after that. So I think that we will aim at having the websites online before the end of the term, definitely. Okay. I think that is all. I don't see any more questions. But again, if you think of something else, you can always ask me, Mr. Espina. You can always send us an email, and we will be glad to answer all your questions. The action is part of the exhibition. Yes, it's part of the assessment. Not the action in place itself. If the students' actions, the group's action is a long-term action, something that cannot be done immediately, it takes time, and for example, it will only have an effect in a few months' time. That doesn't mean that it will not be part of the assessment. It's the idea behind the action that will be part of the assessed. Part of the assessment, yes. Okay, I'm going to end the broadcast now. Thank you for everyone who showed up, and I hope that you enjoyed this. I'll see you soon.